tapestry grand, unraveling mysteries hand in hand, sailing the waves beyond the stars they soar, forever seeking more and more. Explorers at heart with whimsy and glee, the Wanderpus crew set their spirits free in pursuits of good with chaos untamed, to find a new place to make their names. Wanderpus, their hearts entwined, sailing through memories left behind, stitching the bonds that forever tie, sailing to where the sea meets the sky. Luminaries' minds, curious and bright, they explore the unknown and seek the light. With every text and book unfurled, more is understood of this new world. Wanderpus, their hearts entwined, sailing through memories left behind, stitching the bonds that forever tie, sailing to where the sea meets the sky. Seen God steadfast against the tide, protecting the land they stand with pride, rising up from the city walls, keeping the rest safe through it all. Mysticians with their gift for spell, in the threads of magic they weave and dwell, observing the universe's hidden seams, propelling the crew to their hopes and dreams. Wanderpus, their hearts entwined, sailing through memories left behind, stitching the bonds that forever tie, sailing to where the sea meets the sky. Wanderpus, their hearts entwined, sailing through memories left behind, stitching the bonds that forever tie, sailing to where the sea meets the sky.
Oh shit, we unlocked another game now. Alright. That is, for the record, that's my choice, everybody. Don't worry. I think the extra game is going to be 10 candles. I think it's just mostly because we all need a little R&R is all. That's all. Don't worry about it. But this is episode 12 of this month's games, Good Life. So real quick, catch up on people because I know like not everybody can keep up. So there was a robbery at a major museum that was also kind of holding a bunch of very powerful creatures that some cultures worship as gods, but like, you know, what's a god to a bunch of superheroes, you know? And like that was Seth, Katori, Iskra, and Forge that did that, and we are all suffering the punishments from that. Hymnal hates us. A lot of other places around the world hate us. We did do a coup in Obsession. That didn't work out super well. There are 2 vampires and a goth girl, which are a heavy industrial band now in Gibbet. Don't worry about that. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, don't worry about any of that stuff. That's not part of today's game. Let's get into introducing the characters, because we got 5 instead of 4 today. Just a small coup. Nobody's happy about it. I don't even think the people who did it are happy about it. But anyway, this is Lore's main character energy day, so if it seems like, oh man, this game's really built for Lore, I know. And we got Lore, played by Esme. Hooray! We got Nichol, played by Professor Winter.
Hello, everyone.
We got Bamin, played by Matt.
Yeah, buddy.
A less feathery version of Isaac, played by Warlord.
Hi there.
And we got Simmons, played by Chris. I know we didn't announce this, but we got Simmons, everybody.
There were feathers?
Isaac's having some times, everybody. There's a giant crow in the forest to the west over here. You see this? In that forest, there is a giant, absolutely giant crow that has like electric powers, like he's a storm crow. and he wasn't really going to be a huge thing until Isaac decided he really liked him. So then I was like, okay, I see where we're going. And then when they robbed the museum, they also found a crown that is most certainly for a giant crow. And now the crow, whose name is King Charlie, has his crown again. And he also fought a giant hornet the other day. But regardless about anything, so Kawari played a card, and that card lowers the results of your roll to the next step down. So you guys can never roll successes. Like, if you roll a tough choice, it's a failure. If you roll a success, it's a tough choice. 20s and 1s are immune, but failures, I believe, do go to 1s. But you guys do not have to take this one if you don't want. I only put this one in with the intention, with the thought that they were going to play it on a game that they were playing themselves. So, if you guys want it, you can say, yeah, I'll take that. And then at the end, I will give you some, like, magical item based on the game that we're playing today. But, just heads up, that's a dangerous card.
You know. No, I will not be taking that.
All right, and it's one of the ones everybody has to agree, or we just don't do it.
Yeah, I'm good without it myself. Thank you, Quarry, but I will respectfully decline.
Chaos
Right.
appreciated, but no.
All right, and like, yeah, inquire, absolutely, for sure. You know what? Play it on next time you play. I'll put a game together that for everybody to agree. All right, everybody. So we're in Peanut's war room again, and like Peanut, and I don't know if Peanut has met Bamin yet, but I think they have.
Oh, he's got his eye patch now.
Oh yeah, he's got an eye patch. He's like he's having a real rough time. Peanut is cat-sized, cat-shaped. That's because he's a cat. He can talk, and he does have opposable thumbs. But when he's not using his opposable thumbs, they just look like one of the cats with an extra digit. You know what I mean? That is Peanut. Peanut is the advisor, to the captain as of right now. He used to have a lot of jobs, but he was in space for a while. He's a ninja, and he's a very good spy.
Wow.
And he like looks around the room. He's just like, excellent. I called you all here, in no small part due to Fishtinger Industries. Your how employee Crisis has come to me with some rather interesting information. Crisis, could you put that up on the board? And Crisis, who is an otter. Crisis is just an otter wearing a lab coat.
I love otters.
And he's just like, excellent, thank you. And he waves to Lore, like very adorably, just like, hey.
Does he want uppies?
No,
Oh, God.
Crisis is my
Can I
favorite.
pick him up?
Crisis is just like, I would absolutely love uppies. Just like, I've got to be professional.
All
I'm
right.
looking for
It's okay.
promotion.
All right.
It's okay. We can deal with the uppies after this meeting.
Absolutely
fine.
uppies. But you promise I will get the uppies though. This
Yes,
isn't like a bait and
promise.
switch.
All right.
No, it's a promise.
He looks back and forth between Laura and Bamin a couple of times, just like, oh man, I'm getting so many uppies.
Yeah, you are.
Fuck it. He's like, he's so excited. He's like, all right, anyway. And he puts the map of the Neverglades on the. I think I can actually just do this, can't I? That'd be hilarious if I have that technology. I do. I'm putting it on the board.
Look at that. It's the map.
It's the map.
Oh God.
And like everybody being as impressed as I am about doing this.
Production values.
Right production
Fucking
value. is
beat
what-
me to it,
Through the
damn
roof.
it.
So he's like, and this is where Lore, Vatna, Patagon, who else was there?
Who else was there?
I remember you three. Somebody else. I'm sorry. I don't never feel insulted if I forget that you who was in the game. But it's just like this is where you claimed that ship. Arel was there.
Arel,
Arel,
yeah.
like she fixed the ship, which was awesome. And he's just like, but we had suspicions. That boat seemed like something else, and like we studied the model that Officer Stein Plus brought back with them, and we did see a submersible, but you didn't bring back a submersible. So we did some checking, and it's just like we were picking up detections of something deep under that water when we were looking for the submersible, and he's just like, there is something huge, almost the size of a city block, but made of some material that we are unsure of right now. And like he puts down like not blueprints, but basically of just like the way that the shape of this thing looks under like sonar. And it's just like you see it looks like a city underwater.
Oh.
And he's just like, but this is all metal and it's all empty. It's like, we would really like to know what they were searching for in connection with the strange stairway to heaven that you mentioned. Upon coming back, Vatna was insistent that we study on it. And also, if possible, ancient technology. Those folks around Dendroid have tons of scrap metal and stuff, but we haven't even scratched the surface on what could be in there. Like, what's up with that weird island? Like he's talking about Pixel Island, like where video games come to life. Like, we have literally played Metal Gear there. And where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Ah, classics.
The classics.
Yeah.
The fucking classics.
Where in the world is Solid Snake?
It was actually where in the world is the Storm, because the Storm is a pirate. Bamin, can you roll me a 20-sider?
Oh yeah, I would love to.
Simmons, you too. That's a nat 20 from Bamin on how much Bamin knows about the Storm. And that's a success from Simmons. So yeah, I don't know if anybody just hasn't been asking you guys what you know about the Storm, but suddenly Peanut looks over at you guys and he's just like, hold, I'm sorry, Crisis. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. You two are from the area. Like, Bamin, you've done business all around the world. Simmons, like, your cave diving is famous. From Holt to Folksong. What do you two know about the Storm and her crew? And you guys can say basically whatever you want right now, and I will only correct you if it contradicts something I'm already doing. So things that we know about the Storm as a character. She is one of the 7 pirate queens. She is female. She identifies as female. We do not know her actual name, if the Storm is not her actual name. She has a pirate crew that is large enough to have multiple ships. She has a fleet, and she is an airship pirate, not a water pirate.
I dig it.
So, yeah, both of you two, tell me something about her, if you want to. Don't feel pressured.
Storm is the person. This is the her
person.
name.
Yeah, or the crew. The person, the crew, or the vehicle. It would make a lot of sense if you knew about her vehicles or like the kind of weapons she's packing.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically, like a floating fortress, yeah? Like, I mean, with if you've seen how well she is can build these contraptions, almost as a with all the fans and the cannons. I mean, it looks like a literal floating fortress up there, and yeah, very very intelligent storm.
I love it because I have not given any real thought as to what her flagship looks like. But if her flagship is basically just your princess is in another castle style, that's very cool to me. All right, Simmons, what do you know about her or
Well, I know-
them?
I know that they. Oh God, what was his name? Her first mate there.
We are.
We are.
Oh, sorry. We
and,
know his full name. That his name is We Are Ode.
We are owed, and the lady coated one that stole the giant sword from
Alexis.
Alexis stole the giant sword from Fulgurlight. Was bringing that to the storm. So
Yeah,
I
they were taking it to the
imagine
storm.
The storm is a very a very good swordsman for one. If not, I mean, they've got to know what they're doing. If they needed a giant sword, she's got to be really strong to wield it because it was a big fucking sword, and you got to know how to use it. So I'm assuming they're scary as hell.
Just an incredibly competent swordsman, sword user.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I'm going to ask you a question, and you might not be ready for this one. What is her stance? Does she hold this thing, like this greatsword, like a rapier? Does she hold this greatsword like Monster Hunter style? Does she no-sell this sword?
She would, if she had two, she would be holding one in each hand.
Okay, so like, all right, I got you. I feel like I know her
She'd be
swagger
Dark
now.
Souls, one of each.
Does she have another sword in the other hand?
Maybe.
Bamin, you sold her her other sword. What is that other sword?
What is the other sword that?
Yeah, so she has
Not-
one sword that's constantly arcing lightning, constantly, nonstop. And it looks like a flamberge, but a lightning bolt.
Well,
But
that's
you sold her
bizarre.
other one.
Yeah, I mean that's weird. I sold her one that looks identical, but has flame dripping off of it. So she has lightning in one hand, and then her other sword is just, it's completely on fire.
Man, it was so hard to get that sword out of the Bleeding Mountain too. I can't believe you did it.
That's why they call me Bamin.
Shit. Does Bamin mean something?
Yep,
Oh shit! All right, I don't want to pry though.
you were correct.
Is it an acronym?
Bamin?
So
No.
is Bamin a title?
Maybe. I mean, maybe we'll find out another day.
I look forward to finding out another day. Scour is just like looking back and forth between you two. It's like, we've been on this for weeks, guys. You could have mentioned that. Like, at all. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead. And like, Peanut is just like scratching down notes faster than you guys have. Like, his like eye patch, he's flipped it up. So like, you guys can see like both of his eyes. His other eye's fine. He's just wearing an eye patch.
I mean, it's a good fashion statement. Why not?
It's just like, I've got a lot going on. I thought like one more, like, it's not the time to accessorize. Maybe I should just go back to the cigarette being my accessory. He's also covered in nicotine patches, guys, and he's chewing like a lot of that nicotine gum.
Ooh. The otter?
No,
No,
this
Peanut.
is Peanut, the cat,
Oh, Peanut.
the very put upon cat.
I got it.
Is it the
Christ.
fruit or the mint gum?
You know, I don't know. Peanut, I don't want to give Peanut a piercing addiction because whenever I see a picture of a cat that's been pierced or tattooed, it just makes me sad. Even though I know that didn't happen, that's just a picture. It just makes me sad. Alright, so anyway. Crisis is just like, well shit, okay. And he's just like, alright. That, like, speaking of that flying fortress, that might have a lot to do with what we have here. Like, look here. And it... So I decided to cough. He's just like, look here, these seem like propellers. And you do see what look like giant, like, battlement towers, but at the top of them, it comes out with a propeller. And it's just like, I believe this tower once flew in the sky. And if this has something to do with the storm as well as, you know, grand adventure, as many salvaged goods as we can find, good PR for the forklifts and all and whatnot. If we could also figure out something about the storm, that would just be aces. And it's just like, and that'd be great. And now he puts his hands up and he's like, uppies?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Oh shit, he's all about those uppies. It's just Laura and Bamin throwing him back and forth over
Hey.
Peanut while Peanut's trying to be a fucking the consummate professional that he is.
That's right. And he's loving it, right? I mean,
Oh, he's all about this. This is his life now.
Yeah. By the way,
Scour's looking-
Peanut, if you're really looking for accessorizing, go to the tailor. We both know.
I accidentally changed Chrysis's size and I made him like a chubby little otter for a second. And I'm not trying to body shame an otter, but like, Peanut's just like, I've been thinking about a new outfit and just maybe something a little, and like he does the most John Wick look you've ever seen a cat do, and just says tactical. And he's just like, Isaac, Laura, what do you two make of these blueprints, this design? And like, I don't have them, I have not generated them because I want you guys to tell me what this place looks like based on, or like who lived there. And then we're gonna go to that more. But I want just initial impressions. I also don't want Crisis to just be sitting on Bamin's face.
Alright, I'm just casually scratching the back of his ear.
Oh, he's about it. Peanut's just shaking his head, just fucking professionalism.
Scour's a little jealous.
Oh, is he? I didn't know if Scour was the kind of guy that got down with pets and stuff. I didn't know if he was more like a person.
I don't think I ever have, but I don't think we ever asked.
Okay, I think Peanut is not jealous of getting pet. He's jealous of the freedom that Crisis seems to have. I think Scour is jealous of the pets.
I'm not sure. Yes, I think Scour's jealous of the attention more.
Oh, okay. All right, Laura and Isaac, what are we looking at? And go ahead and ask me any questions real quick. Oh, you know what? No, I'll just show it to you. Had to hide some things, but... So this is what you guys are seeing. But imagine this, Oh, here we go as well. This is like the cuttlefish. This is our submersible right here. So that's how big it is to scale.
I am definitely controlling this thing with a Logitech controller.
There's definitely a moment where fucking Peanut looks up and he's just like, "Don't worry, we have a pilot." And he looks at Nichol and he's just like, "Have you familiarized yourself with the new controls for the shuttlefish?"
As best I can. It's still a bit weird doing stuff in the water than underwater than the sky, but I'll manage.
Don't you worry, I made a cockpit.
Crabbert's there for moral support.
Oh shit, that was so dumb. I really should have put Crabbit in there from jump. That was just a failure on my part, everybody. Sorry. Just imagine Crabbit was here the whole time.
Yeah, I have to have my trusted co-pilot.
He was here the whole time. What do you mean?
The fact that we play a game where somebody has a fucking dinner bell with a butcher knife really just... I feel like it says a lot about us as people, everyone.
We
All
play
right.
a game
Yeah, we sure do. All right,
We-
tell
we
me
do
about this
indeed.
place. Just based on pictures, we're not close enough to, and like you can say like, you have charts and stuff,
Reflinter played
For
this
sure.
card. Item.
but we're not
clever
we're
to
not
make
actually
it
down
official.
there yet.
It looks like the corridors would almost be big enough to fit the shuttlefish in.
Thank you for saying that, because they are.
For me.
All right,
Despite
Isaac.
it-
Go ahead.
Despite it looking very old, it's probably extremely advanced, almost on par with what the crew has.
Okay, I mean that would check out based on its closeness to Dendroid. Let me move us to this one real quick because I don't know if Bamin's really seen the Neverglades. So this side here, the Sickened Sea, is just full of oil and just like magic runoff. Like it's polluted to high hell. But there are oil rigs
Mhm.
there. So like the technology is weirdly advanced. And in oh yeah, Bamin is from the Neverglades. Oh my bad. Bamin's from here. Like, but the player Matt would
Yeah.
might
hometown-
not be
hometown,
like on
boy.
board. So this is Dendroid. Dendroid is the home of a bunch of squirrel. Like imagine Diesel Punk squirrels that really got into robot fighting and the Fast and the Furious. Those are the folks that live at Dendroid. Up here is Hammerpaw, which is a wait, no, I think we put it over here some more. Nika put it somewhere, I can't remember. It's a city of a bunch of like cats that build cool shit out of the scrap metal.
Hmm.
And then this happenstance, there are a bunch of Beatles that love breakdancing in 1980s hip hop culture. But we're going here. It's like somewhere under the water, deep under the water. We are looking at rather advanced technology that seems to overlap with the Storm's ship. I just need you all to know I appreciate this about you. All right, so Peanut's just like, all right, okay. This is all the size. We believed we could get the shuttlefish in there, but we were a bit concerned about the smaller corridors, which brings us to, and like Crisis like basically does like a half sit up, like a stomach crunch thing, and Peanut's one eye like trails over to look at Simmons. Hey Simmons, how are you underwater?
The last couple times I've been underwater, it's been okay.
And you have familiarized yourself with the rebreathers?
Yeah, I had them once, and we were underground and underwater at the same time, so it worked out doubly great.
Excellent. And how are you in tight spaces?
You're asking me this?
I feel like I need to finish this checklist. Kay asked me to do evaluations of the crew.
Yes, tight spaces are yes, that's fine.
Excellent. Peanut, literally a stack of like, how is the crew doing papers, and all of them are just like, they're doing great. Peanut is not the person that should be doing employee evaluations. All right, so are we all ready? He looks at Bam and he's just like, we might need a little local destruction, a little bit of demolition if you could loan us Scour for an afternoon or two. And if you have any familiarity with the Storm's ship and can draw us any more conclusions from being there, because I don't imagine a world where we can get this thing up above. And then he looks over at Lore, and he's just like, or do we? Like, based on the destruction of it, do we think we could get this thing above the ocean again?
It's gonna be tough.
It might not be easy, but it's not going to be the hardest thing we've ever done.
Crisis sits all the way up, and he's just like, if we had this locally, I could study it much more. And this is literally Alan switching mission goals as we determine them. Instead of you guys studying it, I want you guys to bring the tower back. And like Crisis is just like, we could, if the engine's running, if we could get this powered again, then we could really use this to study mostly, and then, you know, who doesn't want a flying tower?
I can't argue with that logic.
Pretty dope.
Fantastic logic.
I think Peanut's not all on board with this plan. He just wants you guys to study it, but Crisis really wants you guys to bring it back.
Peanut.
So
The best
Peanut's
way to
being a
study it
realist.
is bring it back.
He's just like, guys, it's not that I don't trust you. It's not that I don't trust you. I don't ever want it to seem to come off that way. It's not that I find you that Nichol wouldn't be able to fly a city back here. I trust his piloting skills implicitly. I don't trust, I think they call it fate, or maybe it's just luck, that I suspect you will be flying this tower here, and everything will seem right, and then you'll crash it into Hymnal. I'm just telling you where I think we're standing in reality is.
Peanut. We have Nichol, we have me, and we have Crabbert. Look at Crabbert. Does Crabbert look like he would let anything happen to anything he was piloting?
He looks over at Crabbert. No. It's just... Okay. What will you need to bring it back? Like, how are you going to power this? What's the plan?
Well, I think the first step would be to get it drained and get it to the surface. That'd mean patching it up. I could probably help out at least on a temporary basis with some ice. If nothing else, if you get it to the surface and get it drained and get it in the air, I mean, having a little extra wind ain't going to be that bad. It just means I have to adjust my piloting a bit.
It's like, okay, all right. And it's just... So that's step one. What kind of materials are we needing? Like, how are you powering this thing? Are we using solar? We have some mana batteries still. I know some of the crew's a bit iffy on it. Crisis has been working with them for a while.
I have a question.
Yeah.
There was the last time I was in the Neverglades. There is a gigantic metal beast in the Sicken Sea that is angry.
The snake?
Yeah. Is it still there? Are we gonna have to worry about that, or is?
Oh no,
is
he doesn't.
everything
He
fine?
doesn't leave the seas. We're in folk song. That's my bad. I pulled up the wrong map. So he's all the way over here
Yeah.
in the Sicken Sea part. Like, we're gonna be over here.
So we don't have to worry about that being a problem.
Have you heard reports that he's been moving? Because like
No,
I'm not completely up to date with the Everglades. Okay, we are saying that he does not leave the Sicken Sea.
Okay, I just needed to make sure. I had a moment last time. It was a little scary.
His
and I
pen
don't
keeps
wanna...
going up and down on the paper, like trying to figure out like does this thing travel? Because I'll make it travel. We saying this thing goes?
Is it a mechanical snake?
Yeah, that mechanical snake.
What is the snake that we're speaking of?
Yeah,
the
that's what he's
giant
talking about,
skeleton
yeah.
On the on the map. It is Gigundus, and it's horrifying, and I don't want to be near it again. So I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to worry about that.
Oh no, he closes the book that just says facts that people have spoken into reality on it.
But
And it's just like, no, okay, I guess it doesn't move.
it could potentially have some parts on there to help power this thing up for us, yeah? That snake.
Okay. Scavenge from snake, alright.
That is if we're anywhere close to
I mean,
know,
we could
being able
we
to
could
take
make
it.
the trip.
I don't know. Just an idea. Just throwing it out there.
Alright.
It likely has some stuff that we could use, yeah?
Okay. With Jen Morin and the fucking giant snake. Cool. If you don't get that joke, Monster Hunter Try wasn't great. Alright, Isaac, what are the logistics looking like? Like, what do we need?
If the brain, please, God, words. If the plan is to get it fully retrieved, patching it, someone would have to go down there and actively make a map of all the damage that's there, or as they're down there fix it, which will require materials of some kind. And we also just have to make sure that whoever's piloting is just not in any way unable to pilot at all. But we have 3 pilots, Lord, Nichol, Carver. We'll be fine on that front. The biggest problem, because despite the fact that there are 5 of us, I don't think that's enough to make sure that it's properly secured on whatever we're using to drag it out from underwater.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. Peanut just is like, yes, I agree. We have a list of many allies down in those regions. Who do you suggest that we tap? Or any of our allies? Who would you ask for aid?
Realistically, most likely our friends from Hammerpaw,
Yeah,
because
Hammerpaw.
very likely that if they could, they could build a crane or some sort, something that would be relatively strong enough to pull it up.
I think they'd also be super excited about it.
Absolutely. This game has changed completely from how it started, so I'm just going with it, guys. So yeah, do the folks from Hammerpaw use boats that much though? I don't think so, but I think you guys can like teach them to use a boat. I think this game is going over. Don't worry about like what we're getting done in a day. Think long term. Think that this has been happening all month. Like, think that this has been a project that just has been going on in the background that we haven't talked about.
We've just been building up to getting out there.
Exactly. Like, so like. All right,
Do the Hammerpaw folks get along with the Hill Kings?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Now I don't know if they've ever met each other really, because they
they've
don't
got
go into the
boats.
second sea. You are 100% right. The Hill Kings do have boats. All right. I've got a lot of work to do on maps now, guys. Okay, so yeah, the Hill Kings and Hammerpaw are working together to build, and they have cranes too, Chris. Simmons, they have cranes as well. Because
Check this
they
to drag
magnet
stuff up
fish.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
That's very cool. I like this. So we are calling in Hammerpaw and we are calling in the Hill Kings, both of which are groups that we have good relationships with. Simmons, what else do we need? Like, what do we need to make this plan work? Actually, all of us. Like, if you guys can think of anything, just shout it out.
Does this thing have a power source? Are we gonna have to have fuel for it?
I don't think we know what its power source is yet, or like what it was powered by, but like we talked about, we've got the mana batteries if we want to use those.
Here's a fun question.
Heavy
Do
if.
we want to do a couple of like, have we done expeditions? Has Nichol flown you all down there to check it out before.
I think for something like this, we would have to. This is major logistics, and if it turns out it's been swallowed by some sort of monstrosity there, then, well, we won't need the boats as much.
Absolutely love it. All right. So here we are. Is everybody coming down?
I just thought of one other logistical thing.
Absolutely.
Of course, like in the time leading up to this, how long it's been down there also matters because it could be very much imprinted into the sediment beneath it to the point that we'd have to drill it out too.
All right. Yeah, we might need like. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're scouting right now. We're scouting
If
to see how embedded and stuff it is.
Yeah, and if it's too embedded, if it's super embedded or embedded enough that we would need help lifting it, well, then we just get some, basically just we get some holes under it. We dig some tunnels. We put some big tubing through and fill it up with air and use that to float to lift it off the seafloor.
Is that like a real thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how they lifted the Vasa in Sweden. That is how they lifted that off the floor.
If you guys just science this game, we don't get to make rolls, everyone. You can't be
I'm
confident
sorry!
at your job.
If we can't get it, if there's an issue and we can't get it off the ground, is there any way to bring
I went into debt for this.
the sky to the ship instead of the ship to the sky? Like keep it where it is, but be able to go to it.
You're asking how you would be able to get rid of all of the water?
In the ship, but could we like steal the ship enough that we could get in there if we can't get as a second
Okay.
as an O ship maneuver?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah?
How deep is this?
That is, I would ask you that very question. How deep is it? This is an ocean. Like, this is the most open water that we have seen in this game so far.
I mean, I can probably swim on down there, yeah? I can check it out.
Oh yeah, you, like, Bamin and Laura could both just fucking halo dive off the airship and be good.
Yeah.
Just fucking peace out. Step back.
But, like, you're
Yeah.
a cave explorer, and, yeah, Nichol too. You're fucking, I keep forgetting that, like, you're a fucking water dude.
Yeah, I will need the rebreather though, because good at swimming, but because of circumstances, I don't think we ever established, but probably can't breathe the water, despite the gills.
Right. It's like, I'm so, like, back and forth on, like, whether or not, I don't think anybody can straight up fly, but I'm, like, really letting people, like, with wings do more with their wings, and, like, Laura can breathe under the water as long as it's not a problem. Like, as long as it's not, like, key component to the storyline.
Well, maybe something to talk about off stream later.
Right. I
Assume
was just
that-
like,
Yeah.
it was on my mind right there, so I just wanted to say it.
Right. We can say, if nothing else, whether it's
Yeah.
true or not, Nichol absolutely believes he cannot breathe the water, given his experience from living on Liminal, where
Oh yeah,
he
for sure.
never
Oh
could.
yeah, that's psychologically scarring. So yeah,
No, I think for Lore, it's part of his like her belief now that like with the change from liminal to this is like, okay, this is now different water. I can breathe this water now, and now it works.
yeah, and everybody keeps saying you're from here.
Yep. So they keep saying that it works.
It just
Real
makes
quick.
sense.
Real quick scene inside the cockpit. Nichol, as we're going down, and somebody played the no roll bounty, so like if you want to just role play it and just tell me how you think it's going, feel free. You don't have to make a roll unless you really want to.
I'm fine without a roll at the moment. The way I think it's going so far is it starts okay, albeit choppy. The easiest part is when it's a little shallow. The main problem is when it's getting deeper and potentially getting darker, it gets to the point where you start to see some of the scarier fish. the ones that are looking really ugly and using bioluminescence and otherwise concerning things. Nichol at this point is mainly trying to go relatively dark, using the bioluminescence around to try to minimize having turn on lights and become a target, and hopefully is really hoping that getting far enough down in this ocean where it'll be to the level where the fish go back from ugly to cute again, as happens when you get really, really deep in the ocean.
Are you saying that the ocean has like an ugly mid phase?
Absolutely, it
Like
does.
even the ocean has a terrible mid evolution. So like I think you look out at one point and you see like in these waters right now the biggest fucking shark you've ever seen. Like it's absolutely humongous. And like I also think the scene go ahead.
Does this shark happen to have a corset stuck in her teeth?
Oh, definitely. This shark also has a name. Her name is Lydia. We have seen her a couple of times. And I
You
don't
got very, very closely acquainted with lore. Very briefly.
Is that shark wearing clothing on its teeth?
Oh, that
That's
was
the
mine.
best question I've ever heard.
That was mine.
Is it okay if I ask?
Let's just say, it could have been worse. I still have all my fingers and toes.
Yeah, that's fair. Something that big. Honestly, I'd be worried about full-on limbs with something that big.
and like so you guys have all seen Paul, the giant Paul, sorry, the giant turtle shelf on this map.
Yes, we love him.
Yeah. So this is Paul's shell.
Mhm.
That is the size of creature that we're dealing with here as well. Like that big. So big it doesn't seem real.
Could it swallow our little vessel that we're in?
In a second.
Is it like investigating us? What's the shark doing? We see it.
Yeah, what's it up to, Nichol? Like, are you making evasive maneuvers? Are you just going dark? What's going on?
Is it coming at us?
I think I'm going to try to go dark and slow because I figure, especially given the light or potentially lack thereof, the shark would probably be hunting by motion. And, being big and scary, cause things to flee and, well, catch right up with the thing. So Nichol's going to try to go low and slow and... Oh, sorry, just a little hole in the water. Don't mind me.
All right. Isaac and Simmons, what's the complication in the back? Something's going wrong back here. What is it?
Those Jurassic Park situations where like one of the lights turns on. Just starts
Absolutely.
beaming
And
out the back window.
at this depth, it's so just bright. And it's Simmons, Isaac, and Scour slapping each other's hands trying to get the light to turn off.
Yep, and Nichols in front there, basically looking like any parent who is in the front of the vehicle when the kid turns the light on in the back. Hey, what are you doing back there?
I heard it's
Is
not
that Lord
actually
just-
against the law.
Jesus Christ.
Would Nicole Nichol shouts. Laura just like lunges out of her seat, grabs her hat, and just like shoves her hat up against the light.
And then it's just silence as you guys can just see the shadows shifting outside the window as like Lydia's eye like scans the area, and like Laura's corset is like on one of its teeth like it's wearing it, you know? It's just like, that is the strangest shark I've ever seen. What was the magic effects of that corset, by the way? Because I'm giving them to Lydia.
It was I think it was reduced slashing damage. It wasn't actually
Okay.
like a magical effect, it was just armored.
Good luck, everybody. You can't slash Lydia now. She's wearing armor.
Laura just holding the hat up to the light, just like, God, this would be the right time if I could to turn into a giant leviathan, but no.
Lore, no offense. That might be a good idea if you did that outside the small and relatively less strong than a Leviathan ship. I mean, I like you, but I don't know. I'd rather not test, the rebreathers that instantly.
Yeah, I don't want to get wet either, really.
You know, I
could
think you're
make
in a
it happen.
great
I
place
could
to not
provoke
want to
it.
get wet.
I mean, what's wrong with being wet?
You guys look over and Scour's blowing up water wings.
He's gonna go right to the top. He's gonna get the bends.
He's like, oh, what are the bends? Are they fun?
No, they're
No,
bad.
no.
No, the bends are bad.
It's just like,
Um,
yeah, we are here. Are we going to study it from the outside? Are we going inside?
we still have a shark problem.
No, she wandered off once Laura covered up the light.
Gotcha.
I think outside first, just so we can get an idea of how much of the outside we might need to patch up.
All right. So yeah, this is the size that we're dealing with. It kind of looks like what I consider like an anime satellite, but you can see that those propellers were just that. They kept it afloat. I mean, not afloat, like, yeah, in the air. It kept it in the air. Nichol, you can just immediately tell that once this thing was built, it was never meant to come down. Like, those propellers were like a bathroom fan situation. They never went off. This was not transportation, this was home.
Wow. An actual permanent flying city. That is fan-freaking-tastic.
And it's just like, Isaac, like, you, like, as you're like studying it, looking out, you see the fact that this is almost like a district. Like, you can see with your bureaumancy abilities, you can see the fact that there are some of these places incredibly faded, but like painted, maybe not painted, like etched into metal. These are stores. Like, this is like Craig's. I'm just never gonna stop doing that. And like clothing stores, and you can kind of see like mannequins and stuff through the holes, like, but ancient and rotted.
A whole city just up in the air, like a whole civilization.
Bamin, some of this stuff looks like it could have been. You can recognize the metal that this thing is made of is the same stuff that's in the scrapyard, but for like the people in like Dendroid and the people at Hammerpod, they use that to craft things. But this is what it was made before it was made to be before it was scrap. Like, it was supposed to be this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people who lived here are the people that were living in the Everglades before shit got really gross, before it became super polluted, before it became a scrap metal dump. Like, this was them.
Okay.
I just a little bit of backstory for everything. And Simmons, you can see about 1,000,000 problems with trying to drain this thing. It is so full of holes, and it's incredibly it's in incredibly rough shape. It's been down here a while. But how can we do it? What do we need to do to get this above ground?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I mean, we've got to get somebody in here to help us to raise it. But if we raise it, is it going to break?
I think that is the main problem. I think we have a couple of leading fracture points. So I'm asking, where are they, and how do we stop it?
We said we were bringing Hammerpaw and the Hill Kings in to help us with this stuff, right?
Yeah, for the lifting, absolutely.
For the lifting.
Yeah,
Do
the
we have-
lifting is gonna be the thing that breaks this if we lift it right now.
So we've got to brace it with something in the big sections, but I don't know. The only metals that I know of that are big enough, I hate to say it, Bamin brought up a horrifying point earlier in the game.
What do you bring up?
There is a gigantic metal snake.
Oh yeah. What if we just go
Maybe we can sneak up on it and just take a piece of it, that we need without it noticed.
What if we just peel the snake?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
I
maybe
mean,
does
do
this
we
metal
let the snake
snake
shed?
shed?
it's a
Yeah,
shed.
is it shed? That's a good
Oh my
question.
god, thank you guys. Of course.
Like it
Of
rubs
course.
off.
Alan?
It has to rub against stuff while it's moving. It's gotta lose. It's gotta lose something.
Alan, respectfully, don't ever say peel a snake again.
Yeah, just gotta go peel that snake.
Stop.
That was so much sooner than I expected.
It sounds like a euphemism though, doesn't it?
Ugh. The worst.
Yeah, I'm all about peeling that snake.
I,
Yeah.
it's just I'm grounded. My
Oh, with
mom
the
caught me
voice mod,
peeling the
it's
snake.
awful.
Find out more about us peeling the snake the next time on Wanderpus Z.
It's fucking.
No.
Still regret saying it.
What's Scour doing over there in the corner? He's just peeling.
I think.
He's just peeling his snake.
Just stop it.
Stop, Scour. Stop it. Now is not the time to peel your snake.
All right, yeah. Okay, so we're on the Four Kings ship. We've immediately snapped back. No, wait, no, that is how we are getting that. All right, we are getting there. Once we get that, we can seal up the crack. And here's what the crack looks like. This is it's huge. But inside, you can see a Oh yeah, Seth, you didn't need to play that. But they were getting there, man. Yeah, but cool. So you guys are inside the ship / city right now in the in your little submersible. What kind of rooms do you guys want to check out while you're here? Just make note of. What would you guys want to see? Nichol, is there some kind of structure that you're looking for or interested in, the propellers or whatnot, to see if they're, Or do we just want to wait till we get that above ground? That would make more sense.
Well, I actually would want to look a little bit at the propellers, because one of the things I've been thinking about is, well, I mean, if they're so good at getting through the air, how would they do at getting through the water as well? If maybe if there was got a little bit of power to them, whether they could help lessen the load by making it a little buoyant by churning the water.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, let's go check that out. Do I have a map that reasonably makes sense? I like this one. All right, so yeah, you get around to where, like, as you guys go, again, imagine just a vertical city. And not an entire city. Like, this is just like a district. This is, you know what I think it is? I think this is like fashion. I think this is was it First Ave? Like, it's your fashion street. Like, you guys see a bunch of like stores and boutiques, and like, you're pretty sure that could have been like a coffee shop situation, and like places with little displays all over the place, like completely corrupted, but like, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Nichol would probably have some interest in what sort of people lived here and, you know, what they look like, what they did, but that's something after. This is someplace safer than, you know, the bottom of the freaking ocean.
Absolutely. So like, you get to the propellers, and like, I'm not gonna like say that they're in perfect shape right now. They are definitely, they've been under the ocean for Laura and Isaac, it's, given the state that we have described this, how long has this been under the ocean?
I want to say, given the state it's described in, probably around at least 200 years.
Okay. Yeah, so that actually put a timeline on a lot of things. It's like, oh no, now I know 200 years ago that happened. All right, so like, yeah, it's been at the bottom of the ocean for 200 years, and like, this side isn't one of the sides that came into contact with the ground. So like, there are 3 sets of propellers on this side and 1 giant propeller on the other side that somehow works, is how I've decided. But what do you need to get these going again?
Also, I think the giant propeller just does strictly uppies, and the other 3 propellers can be tilted for movement.
There we go.
Horizontally as needed.
Well,
Bryce's
I think
favorite one.
partially for, I'd say partially for movement, but given this was a district as part of a larger city, it probably wouldn't be enough to do all the movement in and of itself. It may be something to help adjust it there, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an open question as to how modular the city was.
Oh, we can answer that we can answer that question right now. I want the city to be so modular. Are we all on board with modular city?
Absolutely, 100%.
100%.
Yep.
Good. Giant modular city.
Does it have like those bridges that open and close?
Of course it does. Little like airlocks. Like
Yep.
just. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, the fashion district moving over to get a really nice view of the sunrise this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. That
That's
restaurant
fantastic.
pays. That restaurant pays a lot of money to get the fucking It's like the sunset deck. That's what the restaurant's called. You need to be in the exact location for sunset. Cool. That's awesome. That's made now. Alright, but what do we need? Like, if you had a thing or some help that could get these propellers going, what would that thing and or help be?
What kind of energy is this thing? I mean, is this what powered this thing prior? Wasn't it? Does anyone have an idea?
Okay, so for this part, everybody actually has to get out of the submersible as we have entered the engine room again. Yeah, you have to think about everything on its side because the thing's laying sideways. It would normally be standing the other way. So like this is actually the floor.
So this is telling me what powers up this thing?
Yeah, this is the engine, and I haven't set into stone how the engine of this thing works or what powers it. So feel free, let me know.
Do we still have the boat that has the crazy jet engine on it, or did that get exploded?
We have the crazy jet engine boat, but people do keep using it.
Would we be able to bring that in as like a pull start for the propellers if we attached it somehow from above? I don't know. Again, I don't know how far down it is.
We could use a diving bell to bring in the fucking airboat with a fucking jet engine on it to jumpstart this fashion district tower that we're flying home. Is that so far the plan?
I just
Yes.
sounds so ridiculous when you say it like that.
That is the plan.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
a sentence.
I'm sorry, I forgot. We have to go get the snake skin so we can fix the tower.
Yep, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Gotta
get the
do
snake
that.
Skin.
That's crucial.
You gotta go peel that snake.
We gotta go peel that snake.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know
and
if we gotta
also on
kill
the
it.
way up,
Gotta peel it.
we need to make sure to avoid the, slash-proof shark.
Yes, we have to make sure that we stay safe from the shark that cannot be slashed because it's wearing Laura's corset.
Maybe I could, we could possibly provoke that shark into fighting that snake. Maybe then it'll knock a few pieces off of it if we don't see any shedded metal anywhere.
We
Let's
just
make
gotta,
those
we
two
just gotta
things.
get the two of them together.
Let's let them fight. Come on,
Yeah, I mean, rolls are back on the menu, folks. If Nichol and Bamin want to make rolls to provoke Lydia into attacking the giant snake so that you guys can look for fallen scales and or entire skins, I am completely down with you two making those rolls.
I
I've
think
never-
I'm reasonably good at pissing people off, so I'm willing to try it.
I've never been so sure about wanting to roll in my life.
For sure. All right, you two, give me 20-siders. That is the funniest one.
Oh my god.
That is, and then a 2.
Wait, I can make it better. No, I'm making it better. I don't care what anyone says.
No.
I'm lowering
Put it
it.
in the
No.
chat, cause like that was so funny.
I was
Man.
planning how to plan to actually help.
Okay,
There we
hold on.
go. There we go. We got it. We got it. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry.
My God.
Okay.
Nichol with the 2!
What's that?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just 2 2s.
It's 2 2s.
Sorry, not 2 2s, 2 1s. 2 1s with a fun, delightful little F in chat going on. Hey, you don't have to worry about the one shark. That's not the problem, guys.
There's more than one.
I noticed the one shark in your tone.
There's just so many sharks.
And that's why.
In my defense, we were doing so well.
All right, so
The help and everything.
that is. Don't worry, guys. That is just Bamin and Nichol. Those are the only two there. Like the rest. Well, Scour's there, obviously.
I'm about to start punching sharks in the face here.
That's gonna be so funny. I can't wait.
I'm just picturing them now, just like running away from sharks to the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, inside a
perfect.
fucking submersible.
That's sideways.
Honestly, I was almost thinking Scooby-Doo with some of the debris on the ocean floor.
It's
And
just one of those scenes with all the fucking doors.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
just instead of doors, it's sharks. Simmons, Grib and Hank are just like, no, sorry, Grib and Doe. You sure your friends are gonna meet us here? As like in the distance, you see the skull, the shiny skull of the snake slowly breaching the surface.
Yeah, they're. I hope so, because points.
Just flash cut to so these sharks are biting into the submersible, guys. Some of them have broken holes large enough that they are getting into the back of it. Bamin is fine underwater. Scour is not doing great underwater. And Nichol, you're gonna be in trouble if you don't close your cockpit door.
All right, yep. All right, everyone, get in the cockpit. We're making sure to keep this safe. It's yeah, this is going to be getting dicier.
All right, Scour and Bamin, like you two are in a. I'm gonna get rid of everybody else real quick. You two are in a locked-in area. Well, there is like a hole that's big enough for one shark to squeeze in at a time.
Mhm.
As it's filling with water, you are locked in a room filling with sharks.
Okay. And there's a hole where a shark can like start to get in.
Yes.
Is the hole? Is that where the water's filling up? Is it filling up? From
Yeah,
that hole?
it would be filling up if this one could wiggle its way through the wall a little bit more. It's trying its best to get to you, but it just can't.
But
but
it's
there
stuck.
are- Yeah, it's stuck in the hole, but it is breaking the sides.
Oh, but it stopped but it has stopped the water from
Yeah.
coming in because its head is stuck in there.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna punch that shark in the face because if I can knock him out, then he'll just stand there. Then we're in good shape. I'm gonna knock him out.
Fucking deck this shark right in the snaz.
Yep. Scour's got my back.
He does. He's fucking he's pulling out a machete and putting on a hockey mask.
Yeah. Yep.
1d20, please. And Laura's got to give me a d100. And I'll figure out what. You guys were doing so good. Remember when they were doing good, guys? So this shark gets like you see for a moment, like, yeah, you're going in, like you deck this thing in the face, and then behind it you see a massive shadow as Lydia opens her mouth and bites down on the submersible and also the shark that you just punched in the face. As her teeth puncture the roof. We're still okay. We're not in the worst situation, but we're okay. Nichol, we're being held pretty strongly in the jaws of a giant shark. How are we doing?
Much less than ideal. Actually, I think I may have an idea.
Yeah, hit me.
I'm thinking maybe a bit further out, like near like the back end of Lydia, maybe a bit of super cooled fluid to create like a nice little ice spike there, which, given that we're so deep underwater, would maybe rock it up and hit it, and at least distract it enough to try to dislodge everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Give me that 20 sider. Okay, so we have a tough choice. So your tough choice is you can get this to work, but like the engine, the ship is really damaged, and it's gonna take, like, you can't go help Simmons, Lore, and Isaac. You two won't be able to go help that mission. Like, they're gonna have to go get that snake skin on their own. But you get free. Or the other choice is you have to abandon the ship. We lose the shuttlefish, and we're gonna have to complete the mission without the shuttlefish, which will be more difficult.
So, in other words, more difficult for Lore's section, but potentially be able to help later, or potentially a bit more difficult for everything, but be able to potentially help Lore.
Right.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point about Crabber.
Like Kravitz steering while you're firing.
Yeah, it's better than Nichol's first idea, which was try to teach Crabbert how to stab instead of slash, because as we all know from our time with tabletop RPGs, piercing damage and slashing damage are two different things.
Two completely different things. And
Yes.
Kravitz just wants to slash. Like, look at him. That's a slash happy Crab if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, so he's going to have to drive while Nichol focuses on getting this these little ice bombs in the right spot to hit Lydia in a couple of more tender spots.
Bamin, like, Lydia is just like shaking the whole ship right now, but like she lets go because she gets like her tail frozen, and like she's furious, and like you right now like have the opportunity to provoke her, guaranteed that this is the maddest she could possibly be, and like chase you down.
Yeah.
The corset floats to the top. All right. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and give me a 20-sider. This is very dangerous though, because like you're provoking her, and she's just gonna try to like get to the ship.
Yeah. Well, but it's for the good of everyone else.
It is, and just for the lulz.
All right, everyone. Here we go. We know I've been rolling awesome tonight. So
Just so good. 15 is good though. 15 gets it done.
Here we go.
Esme, also you have a pencil. Not sure if that's gonna come in handy
Hey, okay.
from penny slots. So yeah, how do you taunt her? Like what's got Lydia so riled up?
Lydia's kind of a mess. She's certainly enraged right now, right? So
Oh, for sure.
the only thing I can do is really try to match that energy as best I can in my alligator self. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to try to match a roar. Like, I'm going to like one of the deepest roars that I can like pull out. Yeah, like I'm trying to just to get her attention. So I'm
Oh
trying
yeah,
to-
it's like you and Scour are both just fucking roaring at her, and she is
Ours definitely.
pissed, and like she's looking for a fight. That's the kind of angry that you manage to get her, not like pissed and I want to like just destroy this thing, but pissed and I want to fight.
Yeah.
So everybody else just chilling in the swamp, like in the distance, you guys see like the waves start breaking as like the shuttlefish is flying across, like speedboating is how I'm picturing it.
Yeah, and Nichol's probably on the communicator, do 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 do. All right, everyone, coming in hot, really, really hot, really pissed shark. So, good luck, everyone.
Hank's just like, this is like, you can make him go that fast? And then there's a huge shark like barreling down. So Simmons, Laura, and Isaac, I need you to tell me how you find this skin of a skeletal metal snake. Or like its sheddings. Like where do you find them?
Can I see the map again?
For sure.
So while this giant metal snake is like swimming around, coiling around things like snakes do, obviously some of its scales are gonna get caught on stuff. So I'm thinking we find some just like rubbed off, stuck on this tower.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, and I think the Hill Kings, which are the fishermen that are traveling with you, they don't come near this tower because it's too close to the snake, It's just like, nah, thanks. But we have the snake distracted by fighting a giant shark that is looking for a fight. Which is just fun for everybody. Now we know that the snake and the shark don't get along.
I mean, even if they did get along once, not anymore.
They're very territorial.
Isaac, what's one thing that if we make equipment out of this skin, what's a benefit from like this as a material? It's incredibly limited material, but it's like, and based on that, what is a benefit if we use it?
Me saying this is technically going to make the snake stronger. It can't conduct. It does not directly conduct electricity.
All right, absolutely. Does not conduct electricity. So we cannot use shock on this big old snake. That's fun.
That's a fun trade. At least we can slash Lydia again.
We can slash Lydia, but we can't use shock on the snake. All right, so yeah, I don't think we need to see the fight between the snake because that's not the point. We know that Lydia's not down there to stop you. We have the snake. Simmons, Isaac, and Laura, can you each roll me a 20-sider to see how much of this stuff we will manage to get?
I don't want to.
Okay, so 1 failure, 1 success. And then, yeah. And a tough choice. They're just going to average themselves out into being a tough choice, aren't they? All right, Simmons. Your tough choice is you can get just enough to complete this job, and it will work. This stuff will be used perfectly to cinch it up. You know what I mean? Exactly where the weak point you said was. Like, you can fix it. Alternatively, you could skimp a little bit. If you skimp a little bit, everyone here will be able to make will have a cool outfit that matches this journey,
No, I don't think we skimp because there might be some cool fashion in the ship when we bring it up. So
that's fair. Yeah, cool. I absolutely agree.
and it'll be really old, so it'll be vintage.
You know, I don't know if this would specifically match the cape lore has from the first time we dealt with the whales last season. Still need to get art of that cape.
Heck, we're gonna get around to the cape. We'll talk more about the cape in the future.
Yep. And whatever we find a better match for my current cape, and actually, probably still have that scarf from Storm somewhere. Probably a good thing I didn't bring it along.
Alright, you guys fixed it, so no problem there. Got rid of the shark, no problem there. Figured out how to, like, get the propellers going by jump starting it with a speedboat.
That's in a diving bell.
That's in a diving bell in a city underwater that Nichol is going to attempt to fly.
Well, technically, swim then fly.
Right.
We play an
Okay.
interesting game.
Yeah, okay. And you asked Hammerpaw and the Hill Kings for help, and they are more than willing to help you guys. So we're gonna add those to the dice. Crisis is really on board. I'm gonna add him. All right. So can everybody make me a 20-sider?
Crisis here.
Oh yeah, Crisis has definitely been helping you guys out the whole time, and he is just all about the uppies.
All right.
You guys gotta stop rolling twos.
Oh
We have a bingo for number of twos rolled in the
I'm,
game.
I'm
my
going to increase mine
God.
by 1.
Jesus Christ.
Are we all rolling?
Yeah.
So this may be a silly question. Does Crabbert get a roll?
You know what? Crabbert does get a roll. Go ahead and roll for Crabbert.
Jesus, there's a
Absolutely.
19 and a 20 in there.
Oh yeah. Nobody panic though. Crisis and Peanuts got you two covered and got you guys covered. They are really about it.
Crisis is super about it. Peanut is super about us not accidentally fucking shit up because the things happen.
Absolutely.
Sick.
So you guys, what's it look like when you do it? Like, it goes to plan. When it goes to plan, what does it look like going to plan? It's like, so you get it out of the ocean, and like the airship is like pulling. Hammerpaw's got a bunch of like ships out there, which is wild because they don't normally use ships. They're getting into fishing now with the Hill Kings, which is a situation I didn't see coming.
This collaboration between them is called the Hammer Kings. I'm sorry.
The Hammer Kings, okay.
Hammer Kings, I like a lot.
Yep, and I think one of the things that
Yeah.
also help as it's coming up there, of course, getting dislodged will also kick up a lot of dust and dirt and silt around, which will float around, going around it, creating a bit of a haze around the ship. Well, not the ship, but the tower as it's ascending.
I bet that's so fucking weird for people right now. Like, what the? I know I have a good token for this. I just don't know where it is. And so, like, yeah, you guys get it to the top, and it is exactly how I've been describing it. It gets going, and the folks at Hammerpaw and the Kings are helping you guys like rebuild the propellers so that you guys can control these. But like, you can't get it started. Nichol, like, you are like, you're following the directions like as much as you guys can, and now that it's out of the water, but you guys just cannot get the propellers going. Like, you can get the engine like revving up, but it's nothing's spinning.
I mean, can I just push them by using strength.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, it works for sure. Like, because we know it works. We're lawnmowing this thing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Lore has some fish tinger version of WD-40.
Is it
He'll
just
use-
WP-40 for Warpletinger?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, someone recommended we just hit it with a hammer.
Just fucking just nail it.
Yeah.
So
I
it gets
wanna know.
going. Yeah, fucking this little tower is just like starting to like really take off into the sky. I think you
Is
guys
there,
can
like, an
fly. Go ahead.
anchor or anything so that we, or are we good? Do we know it's not going to just keep going into the sky? Do the controls work? Is my question.
I think Isaac, have you read the instructions?
Of course I have.
Okay. Do we got brakes?
Of course we have brakes.
All right.
There might be a little waterlogged though.
Just a little waterlogged. Just fun question while you've been like just like going around this place. What broke this thing? I mean, what took this thing down? Like, why'd it fall? Like, what can you identify what happened 200 years ago? Did you get any clues?
Oh. Oh, I just thought of something perfect. King Charlie happened.
Ah. And that's back when they called King Charlie the Storm.
Yeah, King Charlie got beef with the storm.
Yeah, somebody started using that moniker right after, you know, around 200 years ago. That's fun for me. Nobody else. That's just a my thing. Yeah, here it is. Token. Simmons. Oh no! Wait. As you're reading the instructions, Isaac, you walk around this like city, like, and right now, Nichol, you got it under control. You are flying this city. But like you guys can't get into a lot of rooms. Like Simmons, as like the explorer, like the water is draining out of this place. It's, you know, you got a bit of curiosity. I think everybody does. Just like all the doors are locked. Every single one of these doors is locked.
Quick point of order. Nichol would be interested, but he is driving a frigging district of a city. He's good for a little while.
How's that? Like, oh, before we get back to that, what's your path? How are we getting up? I imagine flying up a waterfall, a very large waterfall, might be difficult, but if you go further to the east, that's where you run closer to hymnal situation, so... Which risk do we want to take?
I would say probably would start a bit closer to hymnal with the cliffs, but then as it's getting up, try to take it more of a somewhat diagonal route. Also with the idea that even if there's some water issues from the whale falls, it would partially drain back out because there's just a little bit of a tint, or like almost like a flying Tower of Pisa thing. So it's, you know, it still has a bit of drainage opportunity even as it's going up in the sky.
Yeah, we did the smart thing, and we didn't completely seal it because one, we couldn't, but also if we tried to lift it while fully sealed and full of water, all that water weight would have just caused it to break into pieces. So we left drainage.
For sure, yeah, I love that.
You gotta be careful there.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, because probably don't want it to drain on top of a civilization area. Don't want to flood another city.
Yeah, we don't need to flood fucking... Wait, what could we even run into? No, I guess if we came up this way, we would flood Fulgur Light, and you don't want to rain on Gibbet because that'd be rude. And Krieg is setting up homes on this archipelago. He's not making it easy for you guys. That's some delicate flying you got to do there, especially on a craft you just realized existed. Well, no, you've known about it for like a month or so. All right, so Lord, you and Isaac, I feel like we've landed it at the Silver Thimble at this point. If that's cool with everyone. I don't think we need to make any rolls on that one because we already made all those rolls.
I would like to request one roll though, because
Yeah, sure.
as tradition dictates, Crabbert is near the Whale Falls.
Oh, okay. Throw Crabbert at the whale.
No one's throwing Crabbert. Crabbert is jumping.
Okay. Crabbert has put a fucking headband on. Nice.
It doesn't go well.
Nice.
I think Crabbert loaded himself into a cannon. No one saw this. We're minding our business, and then we just hear, boom. What the fuck was that?
Crabbert just like gets snatched out of the air, and then just like the giant lippy crab turns. Like in case you guys don't know what the lippy crab looks like, give me 1 second. I've got a token.
One day Crabbert will succeed in his vendetta.
Crabbert, how many times do you have to learn this lesson? I mean, are you trying to do like some sort of weird evolution thing by just continue? I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to guess anymore.
I think this time it gets snatched out of the air, and like this creature makes eye contact with Lore, and just like Crabbert gets smashed between its claws and just goes squeak, 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 and just kind of like dusts him off as Crabbert again loses this fight. So we're back at the Silver Thimble. All of you are like able to walk through these halls and stuff. Like you five. Soon the crew we can do things with the crew for it. But like right now, this is you five doing things. As you're inside of it, what's it like? Like Lore, like culturally, this is a shopping district. So we know they're at least there socially, but like what was important to these people based on what you can see right now?
From what I can see from images that are still left after the water damage, it looks like keeping up with fashion, because again, this was the fashion district. There are several different images of like different types of fashion, so it looks like the fashion would change somewhat rapidly, more rapidly than it does for the Silver Thimble. But it looks like with the amount of prints that did survive, the pictures that survived, they were rapidly trying to keep up with all of the fashion changes. They did their best. Fashion was very important.
All right, incredibly important fashion. Just so that, because I know what these people like looked like, so I'm gonna like tell you that. Imagine fawns. You know, goat people, all different kind of versions of like your goatee situation. In over 200 years, they could have changed, but very feathery hair, very like that, like, you know, the Fae. Oh, okay, all right, for sure. Yeah, you can find something.
And so like they have horns, right? You said goats. Oh, there's a whole lot of fucking horn jewelry. Like stuff that's left, like that didn't get taken when everything went down. Because I'm sure whenever this went down, people were grabbing whatever they could, or whatever they thought was valuable.
For sure, like what other kind of buildings are around here? Like in like, if this is the fashion district of like a fantasy city, flying city, fantasy sci-fi, flying city. what else is here? We know there's cafes, but what else we got? Is there a library? Was reading seen as fashionable, or was there a bookstore at least?
There was probably like a bookstore, you know,
There's a
because
bookstore.
like if there's a cafe, you want to have a book to read, you know, and then after you're done lunch or whatever, you go shopping again in one of the boutiques or something.
There
That
are
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
live theaters.
Live
Ooh,
theater.
live
Or would
theater's
have been live
great.
theaters specifically, because what better way to enjoy fashion than to enjoy fashion crafted specifically for the arts?
Yep, and I'd say some of them are, of course, closed theaters, but some of them are like special semi-open amphitheater areas to really enjoy the atmosphere. Maybe actually, and I think with that sort of fashion thing, I think another area there'd probably be other places there where you can be seen as fashionable. So probably maybe near the bottom, an area for swimming, maybe with a glass bottom so you can see the land underneath as you're swimming and looking good.
Sounds fancy.
Absolutely, that sounds great. Couple things. A, I think this is about maybe an eighth of the size, maybe like a 16th of the size of the Silver Thimble. Like it's big. It's big for a single structure, but it's just like a couple city blocks compared to a city. Just because Karan was asking in the chat, not because you guys were overstepping. You guys are doing great.
And it
So-
definitely looks like there's some housing areas part of this too, because if you're gonna be in the fashion, you're gonna be in the fashion.
Okay, so
Like
some people.
fancy apartments and shit.
Okay. Now,
And actually,
Right.
sorry there. I was going to say there, and not just, be the fashion, but have to have fashionable homes. So not just apartments, but sort of like, model apartments, the stuff to make it look like this is a place that you could live if you have enough cash or money or however they, showed wealth.
Bamin, I think you're the one that's going to be able to understand this quickest about it. Everything Nichol just said is completely correct, but you start to realize their entire culture is like that. Like this isn't the fancy part of town. The whole city must have been equally as fancy. Like you can see that they had guns and other weapons, but none of them are pointing straight out, like aiming at like an equal at a war. They're all aiming down. Whoever were the people that fought against these people were literally beneath them.
Like mole people.
Well, yeah, they might have called them that. Like the people that lived under the clouds, gross, This
Sure.
this city was in the sky,
Plebs.
right? Just fucking get on my level, literally. Except for don't, because if you try to come up here, I'll shoot you. So
they
yeah,
literally- they had the high ground.
they had the high ground. So it's just like I think we do. I think Caustic in the chat said it's just like we found the sky, this 1% Sky City. Kind of. I actually think you guys Laura and Isaac, you two, and you know what, Simmons, sir, I haven't heard enough from you. What is telling you that this place was snobby? Like this place was full of itself.
All of the text has double serifs.
Fucking double serifs. God damn it.
The serifs have serifs.
Gold leaf on everything.
Hey, I
Everything
did.
that
I,
would be
and-
gold leafed.
And not tastefully done. Like it looks like you look at it and think that's just too much. You're doing too much. That's not necessary. Why? You made it
Well-
look worse.
What were you saying there, Bamin?
I said yeah, I mean I used the restroom at one point and they had self-cleaning urinals and they're all gold, and when I say self-cleaning they'd clean just themselves constantly, and it was just very clean and uptight. So probably the cleanest bathroom I've ever been in. Bamin. Bamin approved bathrooms.
That's fucking good bathrooms, good gold bidets. You heard it here first.
Yeah, some nice bidets. They hit in that spot.
Just overly pretentious at front work. It literally, the second you said it, I knew exactly who these fucks were. It's like, fucking, get your goddamn serifs out of here.
And also, I just realized with the guns pointed down, having those glass bottoms pool have taken a much darker turn.
Right? It's just like, yeah, like, the glass bottoms, it's just like to look down at people. And it's just like, oh, look, we can, like, you can see their homes. But this is a fun part for me. Isaac, as you are walking through this place, like, Simmons has, like, marked out which doors are locked, and, like, every apartment is locked. We haven't been able to get into them. Only, like, I would say probably about 5% of the buildings were able of, like, public access. But you see a keyhole in one of the doors. Just like your standard keyhole. And you reach in your pocket, and that key that you've been carrying for a while, your little tower in a bottle situation. This is it. Like, you've been carrying around the key to this place. And it's just a floating tower about 1/16 the size of the thimble. But it's you guys's. And more importantly, it's Isaac's.
I'm putting the key in that hole.
For sure.
Goddamn right, put that key in that hole.
Goddamn right. Just don't make it sound so goddamn dirty next time.
Push the goddamn button.
Just fucking just...
Put it in the hole.
So yeah, for sure. You guys can redecorate this tower. Obviously, it's gonna be a situation getting this thing like clean and working again. But I saw the fact that you wanted to give it to Reedy as like a castle, and you still could do that. Like, you could make this part of the Silver Thimble if you want to attach it to the city. It could be a part of Fish Tinger Industries if you want to attach it to the Tinger.
I was gonna say, how are we still good on like the housing situation for all
Absolutely.
The
Oh, you solved that problem. Let me tell you.
Okay.
The city loves Fish Tinger. Like,
Because I was gonna say another suggestion too was like if any of the refugees were not happy with their housing situation, if they wanted to volunteer and help clean this thing out.
oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, we'll get tons of
They could
refugees.
have
Reedy will hop
first-
right on top of that too.
First run of like moving in or opening businesses up here.
I mean, with everything else, I'm sure Marcus will practically be demanding a chance to get in here and take a look at some ancient fashion.
Yeah, like ancient, like opulent fashion is the way that I'm really thinking these, like, double serifs.
You know,
Like-
I bet somewhere buried in here there is in one of the fucking fancy tailor shops. There somehow some fabric has survived.
I guarantee there's got to be, like, what kind of fabric what's it like? What kind of fabric do satyrs in the clouds wear? What did 200 years ago cloud satyrs look like? It's just a lot of roaring 20s dresses, isn't it?
I think partly that, but I also think a lot of stuff that's really fluffy, cloud-like. Honestly, if I may put something there, probably that scarf that Storm had that we found so long ago, probably looks like a darker, more corrupted version of that, maybe.
Like, I was thinking, like, almost, have you ever seen the sci-fi where it's bubbles instead of, like, sometimes you get the rings, but sometimes you get, like, bubbles up and down the arms for some reason? Like, that are just part of the outfit. It happened a lot in cartoons.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yep.
Gold leaf cloud shawls are pretty good. So yeah, that all have So Simmons, what did we find that is a secret in here though? Like, what was not able to be unlocked by the key, but there's something in here that you crawled yourself into.
Maybe some like. Well, let's see. Wait, this was on the ground. Maybe some sort of like ping that sort of points us in the direction of the other ships like this.
Oh. Okay. Love that. Roll me a 20-sider. Let's see what condition it's in.
Not great.
Not great. It's in pretty bad condition. Like this. Like you don't have to leave it on the ship, Simmons. Something about it tells me just take it with you.
I was picturing it like a big table with like a.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it'd be hard to take with me.
Would be hard to take with you.
Could I try? Is there a way that I could like try to put something in it to make it work better?
Oh, for sure. What do you put in it to make it work better?
That lightning gauntlet.
Okay. Can we keep a funny running gag going?
Probably.
As you put it in it, you just hear crack as you push one finger down on it.
God damn it.
Yeah, totally. Just pop it in there.
This way, man. It's this way. It's right down here. It's southeast hard.
So now we know there's another one down there. It's fine.
Sure is.
I immediately go grab Nichol and be like, "Hey, should we go here?"
Scour just looks up to Bamin, and like you see Scour pull one of his headphones off. They're in a completely different room. He's just like, "Oh, getting a lot of feedback. I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about that."
Start picking up other people's phone calls.
It's just it's something like location, and then it's just a bunch of numbers. Oh, I think we're broadcasting it.
But yeah, to respond to Simmons there, well, yeah, I'd be absolutely fine with that. At least, well, not right now, because it'd probably be extremely dangerous to my health if I get too far from the towers. But yeah, I'm up for putting that on the list.
Definitely make a note of that location and see if we can like get those. What are they called? What's the word for coordinates somewhere so that we can.
Isn't it just coordinates?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word coordinates, and then it came to me halfway through. Thank you for
Is there
pointing it
another word
out.
for coordinates?
Sorry, I thought maybe there was another word that you were actually trying to use. I was like, oh shit, is there a better word?
The word for coordinates that's not coordinates, that's also coordinates. That one.
Okay. Now somebody's gonna answer this, and it's gonna make us both look dumb.
It's coordinates.
Okay. I think Bamin, like
Yeah.
you, like walking through this building, and it's just like a lot of it is junk, and a lot of it is just like too far gone. But one of the locked apartments definitely says armory on it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
they're
that
like,
piqued
you know,
my interest. Yeah.
yeah, they needed peacemakers. Like, what if somebody might have been getting uppity, you know?
Mhm.
So inside are basically your satyr versions of riot clothes. So you got a decent selection of vests and very gaudy though, and some solid clubs. Like they would work as good weapons, and they do not seem to have firearms here. But they definitely have a box of iridescent looking grenades.
Ooh.
There's 5 of them, and they seem like they're in pristine but they keep every time you look away and look back at it, it's a different kind of grenade. Like sometimes it's the nice smooth ball grenade that looks like a baseball, but sometimes it's the stick grenade, and sometimes it's the pineapple grenade.
I'm familiar with these grenades. These are magical grenades.
These are
And,
most certainly magical grenades.
these are magical grenades. Bamin has a long history with magical grenades. Haven't seen them in a while. This is a good find, and I'm gonna go ahead and take these. And you said there's 5 of them in here.
Yeah, there are 5 of them. That's a king's ransom right there.
I feel like in good Bamin fashion, I'd like to make sure that they're up for whoever needs a magical grenade. If someone would like one, like I can give them to them so they can have one. Just know that they're extremely unpredictable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you can give one to everybody that played this game, and then we'll also put these in the shop. Is it like when I get a moment to catch my breath? But yeah, so you guys know penny slots? Imagine that for a grenade.
Oh,
That's the best worst idea I've ever heard of.
And like it can do things from doing hundreds of damage to making it rain literal cats and dogs. Literally, guys. We would literally be raining cats and dogs. They're not real, so don't really feel bad about it, but I'm gonna make you sad.
And I assume at least one of those is just, glitter bomb.
Dick
Maybe.
Fetty everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Better, yes.
69 is the Dick Fetty one.
Nice.
There's no shortage of what these things can do. You never really know. But they're always I'm not gonna say always helpful, but they're always a good time.
Always a good time. A magical item that I have not been able to like get right, and I keep trying it, is the Witch Slayer, which is a pair of shoes that kill witches by dropping houses on them, but I can't figure out the balance for that one.
Oh, like click your heels once and a house comes
Just
out.
literally just blip, house.
Mm-hmm.
It has rained mountains once.
Does it work on non-witches or only witches?
I think you have to perceive the person that you are trying to murder as a witch.
As a witch.
So if
I
they're
feel
not
like
a
you would
witch,
also
is it
have
just
to.
like a balloon house that lands on their head and falls off?
If it's not a witch, it's the cop car to take you to jail.
But it lands
Thi-
on your head.
No, it lands on theirs because you're still convicted of murder.
Ooh, this seems like this could be a
You gotta
pretty
make
big
sure your
weakness for
toes are
Nichol.
pointed just the right direction too before you click your heels or it'll miss.
All right, guys.
Anyway.
Laura, was there anything else about this tower you need to tell me about? This game changed a lot away from the lore main character energy I had planned. It became this. But I hope you're not mad because it was a lot of fun.
I am 100% not upset about this.
I'm gonna take another crack at this in November. You get another main character energy in November, and I'm gonna get it right.
Laura, you found a city.
I'm gonna...
city that I had the key to.
And also that's fine. I've still got like I don't know where we're sitting in total for like the mini MCE arc, but I've still got another card.
We're gonna get there. So yeah, you guys did the thing with the city. It's just there. Like, we can clean it up. I do want to have another game inside this place. Cause like I'm sure we're gonna have to like clear it up, but I just do not have any of the maps or anything prepared for that right now. Cause I didn't know we were gonna do that today. And I just got excited myself. I let the game get me excited. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a real quick recap, and then I'll let you guys go for the night. You guys all fucking killed it, though. Like, absolutely. It's always efficient.
That's a good point with Karam. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like this is the first time I've been in a game where we've not destroyed a city.
Yeah, we didn't destroy it.
We created one. So we didn't create one, but
Absolutely raised the Silver Thimble's reputation. That makes perfect sense for what happened in this game.
I'm
Go ahead.
I might not get sleep tonight because my Godzilla fantasy didn't come true, but you know, leave
I'm
it to
sorry.
leave it to the dice.
The dice were just real rude about that.
It was.
It was so fucking funny, though. A 1 and then a 2. I'm like, oh, you guys are not making it out of there.
Nope. That's not gonna happen tonight.
It was great.
Oh, it's a
It's
good
sure.
game. All right, so Crisis with Peanut discovered an underwater city based on the location that Lore went with Lore and Vatna, Patagon, and Arel went. And then you guys went down there. It is an ancient part of a city, and we know that it's not a full city. It's just part of one, based on like what happened, like all the studying you guys did. And instead of just exploring it like I thought we were gonna do at the beginning of this game, and I was gonna like have you guys constantly be attacked by a shark the whole time, and that was gonna be neat. Instead,
Oh,
we
yeah,
decided to
wonder-
like pull it up from the bottom of the ocean, which was very cool. And then so yeah, we now have a little city that's in a tower floating around the Silver Thimble. Does it move? Both Lore and Isaac, is it chained is it anchored to a spot? Or have we landed it back in the water?
I think we've got it anchored right now. I don't know if this will be the final spot, but near Fishtinger, just because that's the easiest place to access it for repairs and cleanup.
Crisis is so giddy about this, by the way, everyone. Like the whole time as it was flying in, he was like doing the jumping in the air, giving like tiny little claps, jumping in the air, tiny little claps.
Adorable.
Every time when he wakes up in the morning and he looks outside and sees it, he does that. This otter loves fucking flying castle. You guys have no idea. So yeah, but also we figured out that the Storm's ship is the same as this, but a fortress. Like a war version of this is what the Storm's ship is. But we're learning some stuff about it, and we also know the Storm is a try-hard two-handed weapon fighter in Dark Souls. One of her swords is from the Bleeding Mountains that drips flames, and the other one is from Fulgurlight that controls electricity. And don't worry, Simmons figured out where the rest of the ship is. It's down, it's south, and then east.
that way.
Yeah, that way. But they know where this part of the ship is. And yeah, I don't know, I think that's pretty much everything that happened. Bamin punched a shark.
I got my corset back, right?
Tried to.
For sure. Oh yeah, you tried to punch the shark and then it got eaten.
Yeah.
Buy another shark.
I didn't have the best shark luck this evening.
There wasn't a lot of shark luck.
Yeah.
I scaled it like 1 to shark. We was a lot of shark.
But magical grenades.
But magical grenades. And I'll give you your thing, Esme. You definitely got your corset back, but would you like a different version of the corset?
Sure.
Who's the NPC main character energy? Who is it? Alright, everybody. So we've got another game tomorrow, but that one's at 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and playing this one. You guys did fucking great. Thank you for indulging me when this went off rails and I just kind of kept going that way.
It went where it's supposed to go.
Those are the best ones.
Alan, I'm always
are
here for
fun.
your bullshit.
I appreciate anybody really just there for like how weird I'm gonna make this game. I'm gonna make this game so weird. All right. So thank you guys so much for playing. We got we've got a speakeasy on Sunday, but we're still thinking it out. It's mostly going to be us talking about things. Don't even start. I'm gonna refund that hindsight because I'm using everything that I was gonna do in a different way. I spent hours on these maps.
He's gonna use them.
I'm gonna do it.
Fair enough.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap up. But tomorrow, it's finally election time. So we're going to see Krieg v. Bobbert and how that all turns out. So that's those two, and Joaquin and William making his return. And
There's
then,
the 13.
I'm just going to play that anyway. And then, Spoobeezy on Sunday to begin our October festivities. So we're going to heck off, and we will see y'all tomorrow at 5 p.m. Bye forever!
Goodbye, everybody.
Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.